Hi, my name is Bob, and my wife is Mary, and we have 4 lovely daughters, 2 of whom are disabled. Our oldest daughter is Chrissy, who suffers from Rett syndrome. She's now 22 years old, and when she turned about 2, she went into a terrible, terrible crisis. And then we had a 4th child, and when she was about 2 years old, again, she too started to have some problems, and it turned out that she was autistic. It was a really hard thing to keep everybody together and get everything done that needed to get done. Emotionally, financially, just getting on with life and making sure that the atmosphere of everybody being upset about the 2 girls being sick didn't interfere with the 2 girls who were healthy so that they would have normal lives, juggling all the intense financial needs. Mary, of course, with 4 small children, had to stay home, so getting all of the finances to work, finding the right medical help, all of this took a tremendous toll on us for many, many years, and we were very fortunate to hang in there and pull through. Today, I think that we're all a lot stronger for it and a lot closer together as a result of it. As a father, there are a lot of things that you kind of instinctively want to do. One of them is provide for your children, and one of the roles that happens is that you become a fixer. If anything is broken, you're the guy that's usually going to get the screwdriver and fix it. And of course, wasn't that easy to fix something like Rett syndrome or autism. And even if you're an intelligent person with time on your hands, it's very, very, very difficult to get anyone in any of these agencies to speak with you and to speak with you honestly. They just don't return phone calls, you don't know who to talk to, you don't know what paperwork is needed. The time it takes to get things done, it's just unimaginable unless you have someone around that really knows how to pick up the phone and get things done. The SCIP caseworkers have really gotten to know the girls and gotten to know their personalities and see their uniqueness. And this has really helped them personalize the kinds of services and to make all kinds of wonderful recommendations that we've been able to follow through on and really get the kind of help that's been able to make a difference. So again, it's been that very personal touch of SCIP that's kind of made it all possible.
My name is Felicia Aline Davis. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I have a son named Tyrese. And Tyrese has been diagnosed with cerebral palsy. And his level of cerebral palsy is, I want to say, mild because it didn't affect him cognitively, but it did affect his body. He has triplegic cerebral palsy, so that means that the left side and both of his legs are not functioning to capacity. Tyrese cannot walk, he's wheelchair bound, and actually he's 13, so I have a teenager on my hands now. When Tyrese was born, it was at 23 weeks, and the doctors there said that Tyrese had to be born in order to save us both. And so the doctors come to me after the procedure and said, you know, the procedure went well, that I'm going to be okay, but don't expect too much from Tyrese. If he survives, he will never be able to do anything for himself. He would not walk, he would not talk, he would not see, he will virtually be in a vegetative state, and that I will definitely have to find a residential place for him to go to. And I'm looking at the doctor like he lost his mind. What are you talking about? What do you mean my son is not going to do? What do you mean that he's going to be a vegetable? You know, it is so frustrating and overwhelming when you hit that hopeless place and you get rejected by the powers that be that's supposed to help your child survive and help us as a family get through this. And it reaches a point of needing someone's helping hand. It was so hard that I know I needed that extra help. Tyrese was in a hospital every 3 to 4 months like clockwork. And I lost my job of 20 years fighting for my son. And it was just so unfair that people don't come to help you, that you have to go and do this on your own, and it's not right, but I did it. It's been a strain. It's always been a strain, financially, emotionally, physically, running up and down, going to the meetings, asking the questions, going on the internet, making the telephone calls. And that's when I met Joanne Colucci, and she introduced me to the services of Skip in New York. And I could never be so grateful for having Skip in my life. From Tyrese having this grim diagnosis and prognosis, Tyrese is in general education. He's the only child in the school in a wheelchair. He has won oratorical competitions. He has been a keynote speaker. He has done so many amazing things and won so many awards that I am so proud. And every time he hits a milestone or has an accomplishment, I take him right back to those same doctors and say, look, this is the child that you wrote off. I'm so thankful for Skip being in my life. I can never be so indebted to you.
Hello, my name is Kelly Conlon, and I am the Director of Programs at Skip of New York. I have been with Skip for 3.5 years, as a case manager, as a supervisor, and now as the Director of Programs. There is no one set definition for case management in this field. Case management is writing service plans for our children, navigating through a mountain of paperwork, finding a nurse when a child's nurse did not show up in the morning, touring rehabilitation programs, preventing a family from being evicted, finding a way to pay an electric bill, advocating at fair hearings, and just being an overall emotional support. All these things case managers do day in and day out. It is by no means an easy job and can often be the difference between life and death. If a child's heart medication won't be released by the pharmacy because there's a problem with the Medicaid payment, then our case managers are on the phone making sure that child gets the medication. Our case managers go above and beyond. If we hit a wall, believe me when I say we are trained to find alternative ways around that wall. Having a sick child is unforeseen, and in these economic times, making sure your child has what they need is expensive. One of our children has to eat special food that costs $700 a month, which was a little less than what the family was making at that time. So now the family has to choose between paying rent and feeding their child. Tell me where the justice is in that.
Hi, I'm Margaret Mikol, co-founder and executive director of Skip of New York. Every day we at Skip fight hard to help families with sick and developmentally disabled children, so they too can live at home surrounded by their loved ones. Skip has a personal connection with these children and their families. That helps families get through each day and every crisis, even when they happen in the middle of the night. When others are off the clock, Skip is always there. Without Skip and your support, who will fight for these families? Who's going to fight for the children? At times, it feels like we are David taking on Goliath. But when your David is a Skip family that was told to get lost, or when your David is a Skip case manager fighting for a child who smiles through it all, Goliath, beware.
But if I can count on you, together we'll see this thing through and watch the sunshine brighten up the sky.